Hi there, the name's Nico, and today I will be going over patch notes 0.57. This is the last patch of Season 5, so the next patch we'll be looking at pre-Season 6. So I do expect there to be less changes in this patch, but anyways, let's just take a look at it. So here we are, you can see the quick looks. We have Adina, who I'm honestly hoping this character release is fine. The last few characters have kind of been a bit of a disappointment, to be honest, so I'm hoping that she'll have a fine release. Looking at, oh yeah, she's our Arcana user, so just looking at her base stats, like you can see her movement speed is a bit faster for like a range character, but like a typical, yeah, like on the faster end for range characters. Her AP is a pretty low. Her defense is quite low as well, and like her health is okay, not the best, not the worst, but again, like range generally on the lower end, so this is a bit on the lower end. Arcana Mastery gets 0.4 CDR, so that means at level 20 you'll be getting 8% CDR, which is not bad, but you're not probably gonna hit level 20, to be honest. Omni Siphon is 0.8%. Again, Omni Siphon works that it's reduced by half for any AoE abilities, and so we'll take a look at her. Most of it is like AoE for her, so I don't think that'll impact her too much. And then 3% skill amp. So yeah, first up we have Stargazing. So her passive, Adina's Crystal Ball generates celestial signs that alter the effect of her skills. Casting a skill consumes Adina's currently selected celestial sign, changing the effect on the skill depending on the sign consumed. Once all signs have been consumed, Adina enters a state of stargazing, refilling all empty slots with new celestial signs and increasing her movement speed by 3 to 11% for 2 seconds. Adina's next basic attack within 3 seconds after stargazing slows the target by 80% for 0.6 seconds. Honestly, 80% slow for 0.6 seconds, you will feel it for sure. It will not feel fun at all. But it looks like she has four. Sorry, I mixed up 5 and 4. So, looks like she has 4 different signs she can use. So, yeah, it'll be painful if you get hit this low. That's all. And she also has an ability called Combust. So Adina's engulfed enemies affected by sun sign skills and flames, dealing 4% of the target's max HP damage every second for 3 seconds. Okay, I don't know why. I didn't. Okay, by the way, I actually did not read her abilities before filling this, but why are they adding another character or another character? Why are they adding Smolder back in the game? Okay, the reason why Smolder was reworked was because it did max HP damage every second. This is just Smolder. Combust is just Smolder. Please, devs, did you not learn your lesson the first time? Please, please, why add Smolder back in the game? Yes, it'll be less toxic because it's on an ability, or like, you can't fully completely stack it like the way that you could with like Yuki as an example, like Lavatine, but still max HP damage that stacks 4% max HP every second for 3 seconds. That means you're doing 12%. Wait, 4%, yeah, every second. That means you'll do 12% max HP damage if you have it. So what you can just do with her is build full tank and just do this sun ability thing. So no, I didn't even realize this. Okay, I'm losing my mind a little bit in here. Smolder back? Hello? That's all I could say. Sorry. I'm so confused. Okay, Luminary, her Q. Adina launches a celestial sphere in the targeted direction, dealing 50 to 150 plus 40% attack power or skill damage to enemies hit. Sun fires a large sun sphere, applying combust to enemies hit. Please get rid of sun, guys. We've already went through sun. We hate sun. Moon fires a moon sphere that explodes on impact, sending the target for 0.5 seconds and knocking them back 0.75 or knocking them 0.75 meters back. Star fires a comet that leaves a tail behind for 4 seconds, increasing the movement speed of allies, touching the tail by 15%. Okay, so the star literally does nothing in team mode. Okay, or sorry, not team modes, nothing in solos. So it looks like people just abuse Sun currently over and over again. Projectiles 8 meters. Projectile radius 0.6. Sun. Projectile 0.75. Projectile speed 9.75 meters per second. Okay, so yeah, I'll hit them in less than a second. The star's projectile speed though is a lot quicker. But again, I guess you are an ally, so will increase your movement speed if you touch it, but it'll be better in team modes. Cooldown 5.5 to 3.5. This can be impacted by CDR as well, doesn't say otherwise, so this is probably actually, if she's actually good, like if these damage numbers actually don't seem that bad to me, I will expect this to be either knocked up a bit for CDR, or they'll say it's like fixed CDR. It might be increased by like 1 second to be what actually like what Lennox has, which is Lennox is more like 8.5 to 4.5, so maybe it'll be changed something like that. Like 3.9 is quite low. Sun conjunct. When casting Luminary with 2 aligned sun signs, Adina fires a larger sun sphere that deals 75% extra skill damage. Okay, I don't know what percent. 70% of what? 75% extra skill damage of what? I don't understand. Yeah, the percent sign just throws me off here. I don't know. If they remove the percent sign, it makes sense, like 30 to 75 extra skill damage. Okay, sure. Burns enemies in the area of effect for 10 plus 10% attack power skill damage every 0.2 seconds. Okay, so that's not, like, this is skill damage, so you can reduce it, so it's not that bad. It's not like Ava's laser beam where it's true damage. So, but the thing is, this means if you stack flat up on her, you can get this quite high for 0.2 seconds. Like you can see that Fiora standing in the middle of it. Enhanced based on the level of Celestial Prophecy, so it looks like it'll do more damage with her ultimate. We'll look at her ultimate as well. Astral Trine. Dina draws an astral triangle at the targeted location, dealing 40 to 160 plus 60% attack power skill damage to enemies hit and slowing them by 35% for 1 second. Sun complies combust enemies hit. Please, I already hate combust. Please remove it. Moon, enemies hit are stunned for 1 second. And Star, the triangle is completed faster, and allies in range become unstoppable for 1 second. Okay, interesting. Range 7 meters, radius one side is 4.5 meters. It's an equilateral triangle, which means that all sides are 4.5 meters, if you don't know what equilateral means. Activating speed is 0.8 seconds. The star's activating speed is faster, as they mentioned, so it's extra 0.5 seconds. Cooldowns 14 to 10. SP cost 50 to 90. And the moon conjunct. When casting astral time with 2 aligned moon symbols, Adina fuses the moons from each vertex to create an explosion, dealing skill damage after 1 second and slowing enemies hit by 40 to 60% for 1.8 seconds. Enhanced based on the level of her ultimate Celestial Prophecy. Okay, and Faded Horizon. Adina marks her target, dealing 20 to 60 plus 20% attack power skill damage. A celestial body then descends upon the target, dealing 40 to 140 plus 30% attack power skill damage to enemies in range. Does not damage allies. Okay, Sun. Large sun sphere descends upon the target, applying combust to enemies hit. Moon. The moon sphere descends upon target, stunning the enemy for 28 seconds. And Star, a comet quickly descends upon the target. When marking an ally, they are healed by 10 to 30 plus 10% attack power. Then an additional 20 to 70 plus 15% attack power from the comet. I don't know what this means. 9 of original damage. Why is this in curly brackets? I don't understand. Anyway. Range 6 meters, second cast damage 1.8. Sun, second cast damage range 2.25 meters. Second cast damage time marked for 1.3 seconds, descends for 0.7 seconds. The star second cast time is marked for 0.5, descends for 0.2. Cooldown 12 to 8, SP 80 to 120. That's a little bit on the high end, to be honest. Most spells generally don't go above 100 SP, except for you have like Yuki, who's like pretty much all the spells are 100. But Star Conjunct. When casting Faded Horizon with 2 aligned star symbols, the comet leaves behind a nebula that heals allies within 1.8 to 2.8 year radius. Again, these are like better for team modes, like these extra things or whatever. Duration 4 seconds. Reaches its largest radius at 2 seconds, which persists until the end of the skill's duration. Recovery 10 to 40 plus skill amp times 0.2 every 0.5 seconds. Okay, so if you have 100% skill amp, which is quite high, like you pretty much have to stack just percentage skill amp items. 100 times 0.2 would be 20, so at max it'd be going from 30 to 60 every 0.5 seconds, and this lasts 4 seconds. So times that by 8. So at 60 times 8 would be 480 HP at max level, which is actually like really good. If you get your whole squad in there, you can like heal them up like 30%. This is like really good healing if you just stack percentage amp and have this at max level. At low level, 30 times 8, 240, which honestly that's not that bad either. But again, you'd have to be in there the whole time, so. But yeah, the healing is not bad at all. Celestial Prophecy, her ultimate affects Celestial Prophecy. Adina swaps the current sign with the one in her crystal ball, altering her fated path. Passive Conjunct. When aligning celestial signs, Adina can cast powerful conjunct skill by consuming both signs. Conjunct skills are enhanced by leveling Celestial Prophecy. Sun times 2 enhances Luminary Q, increasing damage dealt. Moon Tune enhances Astral Trine, increasing in slow. Star enhances Faded Horizon, providing extra recovery. Casting a conjunct skill causes Celestial Prophecy to go down on cooldown for 13 to 4 seconds, temporarily preventing Adina from altering her fate. So, additionally, it's like, oh, it's a 0.1 cooldown, but in reality, it has a 13 to 4 second cooldown. Like, I don't understand why put this. I don't really understand that, but okay, sure. Thoughts on Adina, other than, I swear, am I misunderstanding this? Like, please tell me this is not actually Smolder 2.0. 4% of target's max HP every second for 3 seconds, so that will do 12. And there's no, like, debuff timer for it? Okay, so my thoughts already, I'm already afraid that people, at least in the solos, will build full tank and just combust you to death. That's gonna be super toxic to face. I'm already worried about this. Combust does not seem like a good idea. Like, already Halo's having its issues. But the thing with Halo, actually, wait, I don't even, wait, maybe I'm misunderstanding this. Oh, actually, yes, the one thing I'm misunderstanding this, what type of damage is Combust, okay? If it's true damage, then it's Smolder 2.0, okay? Because that's the reason why Smolder is so good, because it was true damage. If it's cellular damage, it's not that bad. It won't be as bad as I'm making it out to be. It really depends on what type of damage this Combust is. If it's skill damage, it can be reduced, but then this will be amplified, and that's also going to be a little bit worrisome. So I really would like to know what type of damage Combust is. If it's true damage, we are kind of screwed. Otherwise, it's not as bad as it is. I wish they really said what type of damage it is, because it doesn't say. Like, it should say like 4% of the target's max HP as cellular damage, right? Or 4% of the target's max HP as true damage, which I would, please don't let me be true damage, please, please, please. So yeah, it really, really depends on what type of damage, Combust is. And I think Again, another character that has her kit locked behind. There's a kit. Earl has her kit be better in team modes. Like she has a kit that does a lot better in team modes if you have her on. And I also like what, yeah, like I said, the Q healing, like, or QE healing, the Faded Horizon. This healing looks really good if you like use your ultimate for it. So yeah, there's the fact for that. Healing is ult based. There's healing is a lot less. If you mark an ally, they're healed for really not that much. But the enhanced version of this, and if it's on a 13-second cooldown level 1, like you could heal up your whole squad an entire fight if you all just stood in the circle, because it looks like it's a circle. Yeah, it's like a radius. So if you all just stood there, you could heal up the squad. Wish they showed up how much healing. It doesn't look like that much healing, but I think that's the level 1 effect. And she must not be running that much amp. So, yeah, just her kit looks better in team modes already. And personally, it seems like her damage numbers are fine. I could be, you can probably, don't quote me on this if I'm wrong. The only issue I think the thing that will hold her back is that she's Arcana or Karana, whatever you want to pronounce it. Because the weapon type itself is, in my opinion, like really bad. Like, the characters would be doing so much better if they were on different weapons. Yeah, you wouldn't believe, in like, in my opinion. Like, she has no basic attack scaling, so you're not going to be autoing at all on her. And you probably, is her passive worth leveling up? No. No, not really. What, increased by 3 to 11% for 2 seconds? And your autos have no basic attack scaling, so you'd really only use it for the slow, and that slow is not scaled. You're not going to level up your passive first. This thing's not even increased as well. The scaling for this is crap, so I wouldn't even bother. Probably level Q first. I mean R first, obviously, but I mean, besides R, I'd probably say her skill order. Definitely Q first. You're going to do passive last. Sends upon target. Yeah, the thing is she does not have a mobility button. I just realized. So like she has the movement from her passive, but it's kind of 11% if you max passive, which is not that much. For 2 seconds, I still don't think it's really worth it. Could be wrong here, and maybe people want the movement speed boost, like 8% more, but it just doesn't look worth it to me. In team modes, you might actually want your E first, but, or not E first, like E second. I'm not sure which one you'd actually do. It could be W or E second. I'll just say both. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'll just see her. I do think her numbers aren't that bad. Some of them are a little bit on the cope, I guess, but a bunch of them aren't that bad. So yeah, we'll move on from Adina, and I said I'm hoping that Combust is not true damage. I really hope it's not, or or even like extra skill damage would be toxic too, because there's not really much extra skill damage reduction items. It's pretty much just like Vigilante now. But yeah, I wanted to look at the new skins. We have Transfer Student. Mine looks really good, and we also have Magical Girl Rio, which I think is also really good as well. You can get a bundle with Rio in the skin and 2 emotes for her release. And they're also going to do Doki Doki Lumia Island. Or so there's a Doki Doki Lumia Island event. And you can get lovely Magical Girl Rio by doing the mission. So I actually can't wait for that. So there's, I guess, 2 color variations of it. And this is like the first time they've actually done like the same skin, but just like different color variation. Like there's not much difference, it looks like to me. Like I know like some of the like uncommon skins are like basically color variations, but this is like a true color variation, so very interesting. The Plague Doctor Daniel's been upgraded to Epic Skin now. You can see what he looks like in game. I actually can't wait to see it. I haven't actually looked at it yet, so I will have to do that later. And 11 emotes are cute, honestly. Yeah, nothing else for me to really say. Okay, system, you can now have voice chat on and off select screen. I've never used voice chat, okay, so I don't have much to add there. Character reduction, we have Priya, Lower, Bernice, Cheaper, Shurichi, and Cheaper, and Lee Lin. Good pickups. And now for like the more balance changes, so yeah, we'll just do characters now. Character balance. So first up we have Nathapon. Gets more time for his E. It's more of, I guess, honestly, change is fine. And lets Nathapon kind of live a bit longer, because really for Nathapon's combo to work, he has to land E. And generally, if it misses E, he's kind of dead. So, I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to do too much to Nathapon in the long run. Now, Laura... Guys, I don't know if you don't understand... Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll read out the rest of them. Sorry. Not too much about Nathapon anyway. Laura. Letting Laura take... excuse me. Letting Laura take advantage of basic attack canceling for smoother transitions and burst capability. Phantom Thief, her passive, resets the cooldown of basic attacks when teachings of Nuria is activated. Casting Sly Step before dealing damage with an enhanced basic attack will not activate teachings of Nuria. We're working on getting this fixed in the next update. Okay, please. Devs, dude, why does Laura need a quality of life update? Like, what was the reasoning behind this? This is like an insane buff to Laura. And they're also gonna do something next patch too. For dealing damage will not activate that. So they're gonna buff for next patch too. Like, they really... Okay, my opinion is okay, this is not just a Laura issue. When you give characters quality of life changes, you need to nerf their number somewhere. Like, this is the thing with, like, example would be when Leon, this is a while ago though, but when Leon's puddles were changed, that instead of him landing in the middle of the puddle, you can choose where you want to land in the puddle. It like made him do significantly better. I mean, was that like a fine change? I think it was. People underestimated the change, I think, when it came out. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think that he didn't really get any numbers changed with that. And there's been a lot of characters who've gotten these quality of life updates with no nerfs at all. And I don't understand, like, if you're gonna make you're resetting the cooldown of basic attack, which means that you don't need to build attack speed in order to proc this now. So like Laura's before would like generally build feather boots to feel like a bit better on it, but now you can just put EOD boots on and it didn't matter. You don't have to worry about the smoothness at all. It was just kind of there. So I don't know why they gave her a huge buff. I really don't. Leon is actually getting buffed, giving Leon a little boost to glide. Yeah, honestly, I'm getting a little boost to glide on those waves throughout the game. So attack power going up by 2.5 and 2.8. I'm not gonna read these things, by the way, anymore. I think I'm done with that. Makes sense. Actually, I don't really have much to comment on him. I think it's fun. I think it's fine. I think Leon is... I don't know. I think Amp Nikki is like the worst version of Glove, at least in solos. I think Nikki's like really strong in team modes. I definitely check out my team modes tier list video I did, which is like the last video. I explain everything about team modes there. But Leona is definitely like on the weaker end for Glove in solos, so it makes sense this change happened. Lee Lin dialed in her passive. The second basic attack damage is getting nerfed from 30 to 70 to 30 to 60. This is also... it's honestly, the Lee Lin change is deserved, in my opinion. Like, she is quite strong. But yeah, just... I don't know exactly what they want to do with Lee Lin, because they buffed this like a few patches ago to, I think it was up to 80%, and I think they nerfed it back down to 70, and now they're nerfing it back down to 60. Maybe it didn't go up to 80%, and I'm just misremembering. But yeah, they seem to like not know what to do with Lead Island because they just keep rechanging the same number. So yeah, I don't know. I think for me, because I've been playing more Lead Island as of lately, you probably can tone her ultimate damage down a lot, and I don't know. I feel like they want to keep her as like a more like auto attacker instead of like an amp character. So I'd probably shift the damage from her Q into her passive. That personally, but I don't know, the devs don't seem to want that. So yeah, I'll just put it here. Early engines makes sense, but it seems like the devs don't know what to do. Okay, Magnus. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Magnus. Magnus getting buffed. This is Hammer, so I guess it makes sense for this for Hammer. It's not been doing well, but I've been seeing Bat Magnus do actually more damage than I am, like, or doing a lot better than I've expected. So yeah, I don't know. I guess Hammer is not doing nearly as well. Bernice animation became abnormally long after the animation cancel calibration update has been fixed. Okay, whatever. I could be wrong about maybe there's like a huge Bernice buff, but it doesn't sound like it to me. Celine, I think this is a bigger change to note. We're trying out Celine, who's supposed to have too many blasts and high elo, so her Q damage is going from 20 to 100 to 18 to 90. Her blast wave Eve knockback stun duration is going from 0.8 to 0.7. Magnetic compulsion, which is her ultimate damage, is going from 20 to 100 to 18 to 90, same as her plasma bomb, which is her Q. My personal thoughts on this is that, like, I understand Celine has been doing really well, but out of all the characters, let's see, in the game, I would not mind Celine being top tier. The reason why I wouldn't mind her being top tier is just because she's, in my opinion, like the hardest character to play in the game. Like, I've never done any video about Celine on my channel because I don't know how to play Celine, and it would probably take me months, if not probably like a year or so, to just like master her. And even then, like, there's so much stuff you can do with Celine. There's so much skill expression in her that I'm sure people don't even know how to play her efficiently yet, and they're still learning new tech like all the time. I mix up every day and all the time. Okay. So I understand that, but I think there's more pressing characters that could see nerfs than Celine. So yeah, that's just my take on it. Shukai is getting dagger buff. No one cares about dagger attack speed buff. Okay. Sua. Yeah, this is also, I'm gonna just note this might seem like a minor change, but have you watched my March tier list video? I said Sua was SSS tier, and like immediately after that video I posted, she got absolutely gutted and became like B tier, or not even really B tier, B, C, I don't know how many people were on cope and what. And so they buffed her last patch, and I've been seeing her do better, and now they're rebuffing her, and I don't know, they buffed her the last 3 patches in a row. And from my understanding, what people have said is that Sua's actually, like, her stats look fine now. I'd have to double check this to confirm. So I don't think this was needed. I personally don't want to see Sua in SSS tier again. So in the last few patches, it seems like that's the direction they're kind of taking her, because I don't know, she's just like, she's supposed to be a skill shot character, but they've buffed her passive, which again means that you're not rewarding skill shots. You can literally miss your skill shot and do more damage, and this also will have the same effect because the skill amp scaling will also impact her passive. Like, sure, it'll do more damage like her spells as well, but also doing more damage on her passive, and I don't know if Suo really needs that. You can just let me know if you think I'm completely wrong and missed the mark on that, but I think Suo is fine as is, and I don't know why this was needed. Animation became long. Okay, the same thing as Bernice. I'm not too sure what happened with that. We have Isol being buffed. Now Pistol Isol is definitely like not good at all, so I understand attack speed buffs make somewhat more sense for Isol, but he's generally played him as Amp before, so I don't know. Air Isol is incredibly strong, so I'm really surprised you're buffing his base HP, so I'll see about that. Alex being nerfed. Yes, Alex is broken in high elo, especially melee. Yeah. Melee and KR high elo, I don't really know of many Alex mains in NA. There's like I think there's one or two. Definitely not a popular character over here, or at least not anymore. Like a lot of the Alex mains have left the game or like haven't played this season, so makes sense. And they're nerfing his attack power from 2.6 to 2.4, and the pistol mastery, basic attack amplification from 3.7 to 3.4. If you don't know how Alex played as like a poke with Electron Blaster and just shooting you a bunch of times before you can get in range of him. And if you get in range of him, he would do the magic Alex combo, the RED combo, or the red combos as I call it. They may do ERD, whatever the order is. I like calling it the red combo. And all Alex do it. And you just, what it is, you taunt them, either alt taunt or taunt alt. I don't know the actual order. I think it's alt taunt. Then you switch to shuriken, and then you put caltrops on the ground, which is D skill, and then you just start autoing with the caltrop or with the shuriken until they die. Generally, you do that with PT. PT's not as much in meta right now, but you know. Okay, Acheon adjusting his power, so they're gonna buff his E from 10 to, oh no, okay, they're just doing the attack power on his E from 30 to 35, and his envenomization, so Viper Def Adder damage is going down at level 1, but staying the same everywhere else, going down by 40 damage. The same with Black Mamba and Sidewinder. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is overall nerf, but people in KR haven't picked them up yet. But in NA, he's back to being the tank Acheon, doing insane damage, and you can't fight him back. This is specifically Black Mamba. So I don't know, they need to like gut Black Mamba overall. It's the best weapon by far. You can actually keep your ult up for like 30-40 seconds with just Black Mamba. So yeah, just KR hasn't picked him up yet. Once NA's, in my opinion, NA's generally ahead of KR's meta. Like the characters that we find OP are generally not considered OP in KR, which is why they don't get nerfs, so then we can play them a bunch more. That's what happened with Adela, and Adela only started getting nerfs because people in KR started picking her up. And I don't know, I still think Adela needs more nerfs, but just as an example. In that case, I mean, it's happened with like Cicella as well. Like that was a big prominent thing, and she got nerfed season 4 last season. So Elena, okay guys, you might be surprised by this, but Elena's getting nerfed this patch. Yeah, you did hear me right, she is getting a nerf. So from 25 to 75 plus 50% attack power to 15 to 45 to times character level times 5 plus 20% attack power. Yeah, this is a huge nerf to Elena's early game. Maybe like, oh yeah, Niko, it's actually better in the late game. Like, Elena sucks and was already not doing that good, okay? Like, if she lived to the late game, she still wasn't that great. And then in the early game, she wasn't like killing 5 people like Felix is before day 2. So, I don't understand, guys. Well, this is such a weird change in my opinion. I don't understand why she was nerfed at all. I can't. I can't, literally. This is like, I can't. Yuki, dual swords being strong, being nerfed makes sense. So yeah, if you didn't realize, I don't actually, don't know if I mentioned in the last patch, I believe I said that the dual sword changes was like a buff overall, and I was right. So all the dual sword characters are in fact getting nerfed this patch, okay? We have Sahir's attack speed being buffed, no one cares. On throw, by the way, no one's gonna play him still because of that. Dual sword Jackie's amp is being nerfed. Again, I said it was a buff last patch. What a surprise, they're nerfing it this patch, okay? Jenny, okay, we'll put Jenny. If you don't remember, it was like actually like a minor patch. I think I'm gonna start doing minor patch videos as well. Just to give you guys I want to put more like new stuff on the channel, so yeah, and this is a good thing. I wanted to start doing this. We're at like the 36 mark. It might be a little bit lower than this. I'm very curious to see how many of you are at 36 mark. So let me know and say, hey, Nico, I'm watching your video. I'm at the 36 mark or the 35 mark, whatever I ended up editing it down to be. Yeah, I'm very curious how many people actually watch this far and see who some of the true fans are there, so I can give you a hi or say hi to you in the chat in the comments, you know. So yeah, anyways, back to Jenny. Her enhanced basic attack was nerfed from like a 175% to 115% in like a minor patch a few minor patches ago, and now they're gonna rebuff it up to 15%. I don't know. A lot of Jenny's kind of changed from amp to auto attack. I guess they want her to be more amp focused than, auto attack. So we'll see how many people switch over to amp again. I'm not too sure how many people will switch from AA Jenny to amp Jenny. It might be enough, and they may have to go up to 150%. They just don't want people to get nuked from Jenny with the E auto. No, sorry, the E auto R auto E auto combo. So yeah, Camille getting nerfed. I said all dual sword characters got nerfed, but no surprise for me. Kathy, this made me surprised, but I've mentioned this in like any on my tier. If you've seen my tier list video, you would understand Kathy will either be broken or weak, and because the way Kathy's kit is designed is that she has to one combo you, and if she doesn't one combo you, then she sucks, but if she one combos you, she's Omega broken. So yeah, they're gonna buff Kathy again, just because I guess Kathy sucks right now because she can't one combo people. Yeah, and I guess they honestly really need to rework her if they ever want her balance. That's the only way you can fix Kathy. They have to rebalance. They have to rework her. There's no way you can fix her otherwise. So if this much damage, 5% and 0.3 attack power, I don't think it's gonna do anything. But if it does something, she'll become broken. Okay, that's all I'm gonna let you know. Chloe is changed. If you don't know, Chloe right now is like really bad after the nerfs they gave to Nina. Like they nerfed Nina quite heavily. So her passive, so Nina's stats based on Chloe's power are being changed. The formula from 42 plus Chloe level times 2 to now 52 plus Chloe level times 2. So this means that level 20 you can actually get up to 94%. Currently it's maxed at 84, but generally you're not going to hit that 84 mark. You're probably going to get closer to 75 to 80 percent. But this is like honestly seems pretty good. I don't know if it's enough though. Felix, I said Felix has been doing like really well, mainly because he's a very kills oriented character, just because he has so much mobility in his kit. because he can use 3 dashes in like 4 to 6 seconds, and spear weaving can get this down to like 1 second if you are optimized or like play optimally. So getting your movement speed down by 0.05 is probably not going to do much. I will foreshadow and say the spear he was using, 18-foot spear, his movement speed also got nerfed. This is related to Felix. But okay, this change won't fix them though. They need to change the... Okay, how to fix Felix is pretty simple in my opinion. Increase the cooldown of his spells, but reward spell weaving cooldown reduction even more. So buff, what I mean by this is buff his QWE base by like 2 seconds and change the spell weaving. I think right now you get 0.5 seconds per spell weaving stack. Change it to 1 second. You could probably even do maybe, I think 1 second will probably be fine, but if it's not fine, you can change it to 1.25 or 1.2. You can do some decimals. It doesn't have to be nice decimals. I generally like nice decimals, but obviously it doesn't have to be. But yeah, that's the pretty simple change to fix Felix, because he can't infinite chase people if he doesn't get his spear weaving stacks in. But if people actually fight into him, it will reward him for having lower cooldown spells, and actually having like a good passive. So yeah, Priya. Yeah, I gotta tell you, if you, I've said all my thoughts on Priya. Yeah, Priya is actually like, she's meant for team modes, and funny enough, she sucks in team modes. She's like the worst character in the game. She's worse though. Yeah, she's the worst character in the game in all modes. Like, don't even bother with team mode. She's just that bad. See, they're trying to make her a better support option. Like, they built her as the support. I don't want to get I don't really have my thoughts on like if there should be support characters or not, whatever. But they're gonna buff her minorly, her W shield going up from 10 to 50 to 30 to 70, and the amp scaling is going up by 20%, and the cooldown is going down from 13 to 9 to 11 to 7. The shield is like the best part of her kit for team modes in my opinion, but this change won't do anything. I don't think it'll do anything. Hyunwoo, he's gonna get a buff to his W. I think honestly it's fine. They said they're gonna nerf Windrunner. Windrunner is the Mithril String weapon, so whatever. Hedgin, they're trying to make Shuriken Hedgin more viable in solos and less impressive in team modes. Hedgin in general is just impressive in team modes, not just Shuriken Hedgin. To be honest, so they could have just gotten, we're gonna make Shuriken Hedgin more relevant in solos, and then just did it, period. But we want to make Hedgin in general less impressive in team modes, but whatever. So they're gonna get, the attack speed doesn't really do too much. I played Shuriken Hedgin in season 3 on like a Smurf account, and then I managed to get to gold on just Shuriken Hedgin. I mean, it's gold's not too impressive, but at least for me anyway. So yeah, I don't think this will be enough really to make Shuriken Hedgin viable. I think Bo's just kind of really strong. So yeah, now we're gonna go to the weapons. So White Claw Punch is being nerfed. I'll just say, I guess, yeah, White Claw Punch. This is nerfed to attack Yawn mainly, and some dial-in builds. Very interesting, they're nerfing White Claw Punch when the best weapon for glove by far is Divine Fist. If you've been in the feedback suggestion of the official Discord, you would see it's been suggested to make it a scaling EBAD weapon, and I honestly agree with that. All the other EBAD weapons in the game are scaling except for Divine Fist. I could be wrong, maybe there's one that I'm missing, but they even changed Plasma Whip because of to be a scaling EBAD weapon. I don't know why they've not done that with Divine Fist. I think they missed the mark on this weapon nerf. Next up, we have the assault rifles. We have Gatling gun, Agni, XCR, losing 1, 2, and 1 respectively. Like, okay, I'll just say assault rifles. It's a start. Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, I honestly would just want them to be that they aren't good at all. Like, I don't want them to be a viable weapon at all, but I know they will disagree with that and want to make sure things are viable. So yeah, spear, we have 18 foot. The spear, I already talked about this with Felix. This is just a Felix nerf specifically. But also just in general, the note, this is the best spear by far. There's no reason why they run any other spear in the game. I mean, if you're playing Amp, okay, there's obviously you're gonna play Lance Poseidon or Feng Tian Huaji, but if you're playing an auto attack focused spear character, you're gonna play a Feng for the spear. You're not gonna switch to Cosmic Bind, you're not gonna switch to Fear of Longinus. You rather use the VF Blood on something else and the Moonlight. But like this spear is also not that good. Just letting you know if you don't realize, 18-foot spear also has 40% attack speed on it, which is the equivalent of radar. So you have a radar attack speed, you have 87, well you had 90 before, and you have 0.6 ms. And look at Cosmic Bind, now it'll go up to 40% attack speed, which 18-foot spear already has. It's 20 AP difference now, but it also doesn't have any MS on it. I don't think people will build it. Maybe in the late game, it's actually more of a consideration to actually switch to it now. Fear of Longinus gain 100 AP, but again, it's not really worth all the stats you're losing from 18 foot to Longinus. So this is just the best auto attack spear out of all the spears. Windrunner, I said, is the Mithril String Tonfa, and it's being nerfed. The streamlined effect on it. Shield is going from 225 to 200, and the cooldown is going up by 2 seconds. A little surprising, but I guess Tonfa Voodoo and I guess Alex to some extent is causing problems with it. So, yeah. Arm piece, Tellurian timepiece is getting reworked. Tellurian timepiece. Other than this being a team modes thing, I rarely see anyone use this. In solos, this is like, if you get it from a box, you might use it, but I don't see anyone go, oh yeah, I got a 4-square, I'm gonna make a Tellurian timepiece. Like, no. Flower Liquor is going up from 5 to 6, a little bit interesting. The only reason why you generally build Flower Liquor is if you're playing Li Dailin because of her alcohol passive, or you're making Chang Pao. So I guess they're doing like, look, you get 5 Flower Liquor. I don't know, I call it liqueur. I thought it was, but it says liquor. Maybe I'm misremembering. Doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, and some team mode adjustments will say Tia is being nerfed. 100% makes sense. I think she's top tier. Again, all my thoughts on team modes, I've made a tier list video on it. You should definitely check that out. Real being nerfed makes sense. Mai being nerfed makes sense. Bat Magnus being buffed. Interesting. I think Bat Magnus is actually not that bad, but in team modes it kind of makes sense because he's played more as an auto attacker because of the changes they did to Bat. Shuriken Cell being nerfed makes sense. Throw being nerfed, that actually makes sense as well. Adrian being nerfed makes sense. Pistol ISIL buffed, yeah. Yawn buffed makes sense. Jagger, Jackie, Jenny, like all these changes make sense to me in my opinion. Yeah, they all make sense to me. There's nothing that's I'm like super surprised with. The thing I find ironic though is Priya being buffed in team modes when she's a team mode character. That's a little bit ironic to me, but whatever. Bug fixes. We've been rebuilding our action frame event system to fix bugs such as overlapping effects and effects getting unintentionally skipped. Our goal this patch is to successfully kick off the new system. Some of the previous bugs we've been facing will be fixed. Issues such as footsteps overlapping, ghost steps, and the volume sound effects will be improved over time. Okay, I swear, some of the characters I've played, I feel like you hear the ghost steps. Like, I feel like when I played Emma, I'd hear like 2 footsteps. Very weird. I don't know. I didn't realize. I thought, I don't know. I guess it is a bug. I'm glad they're actually recognizing it now. Being able to see enemy weapons in Fog and War is documented as a separate bug and will be fixed this update. Thank you. This change right here needs to be fixed. I'm glad they're actually fixing it. Gameplay improvements. Enemy weapons no longer compare to Fog of War. That was like, honestly, this was a game breaking bug because it basically gives you wall hacks, and you might see like, oh, there's a floating hamburger and a fork. Oh, there's 11 there. My character sucks into 11. I'm not going to go there. Or you might be like, oh, my character can kill 11 in one combo. I am going to go over there and go kill her. Right? It's not fair to the 11. Right? And you could say that for like all the characters. It wasn't just 11. It was all the characters. Unique resources for certain characters, like Yuki's cufflinks, not displayed properly. This bug was kind of funny in my opinion. Like if you had like a bard like Adela has it, Yuki, Aiden. There might be another one, and I'm not thinking about it. I guess Felix technically has it as well. No, does Felix have it? No, I'm thinking Mai has it. They sometimes display the wrong symbol. It's kind of funny. Animation for meteor impact now player properly. Okay, sure. Meteor damage timing has been fixed to match visual effects in game. Okay, sure. Change the item quick hook properly. Okay. And any bug fixes I want to specifically amplify. Celine, I guess, consecutively casting detonate with plasma bomb now properly decrease the cooldown. Interesting. Della. But yeah, the Della change was interesting. The 50% damage decrease per piece from checkmate now properly calculated upon activating a rook. Like, was she doing more damage than she was supposed to? That's what I'm just questioning. I don't know exactly what that means. Kind of funny. Akion Swift Sidewinder no longer stacks with Swift Strides on other items. It's a little bit funny considering Akion's been out for so long. They finally just fixed this bug. That's how much that tells you how much people play Sidewinder. Fix the issue where VF overload. Okay, head to toe. It's funny. Aiden can get stuck in a wall. Casting Bolt 2 and test out near a wall not only causes Aiden to get stuck in a wall. That's kind of funny. Sugar Rush 11 skill in here has been fixed to a cheese shape. Interesting. Oh yeah, this one was a little bit funny. Crossing Yon's Tetragon robe with double bypass will now cause collision with the robe. I guess before she was kind of like immune to it. That's a little bit funny. And Felix being down while casting Retail Spearman second and third round no longer retain Retail Spearman stacks. Okay, interesting. And just some minor changes. But yeah, this is the patch. I said it would definitely be more of a minor patch because this is the final patch before pre-season 6 or like before season 6. This is the last patch of season 5. They don't want to, I guess, change the meta too much before the new season. And okay, my thoughts, other than I said I understand it's the minor patch, or it's the last patch of the season, they don't want to change the season too much. I really hope they change more things this or next season, I guess. Like the thing with this season, they're like, oh, we're gonna do active items. They were gonna add Cobalt Protocol, and all those. The active items were pretty much exclusive to the team modes, and the ones that are used. Excuse me. The ones that you find in solos, it's really just Veritas Lakmea. The other actives, in it specifically, Sultan Adon's active is useless still. Like it's not really run at all. The only reason why you built Sultan Adon is because you want the extra attack speed. Veritas's active though is broken in my opinion, but that's another topic. I mainly just hope they change more things next season. I don't know if I might do a video about my overall thoughts of the season. I don't know. I'll think about it. And I mean, the character balancing seems honestly it has been pretty bad the last few patches. There was a patch like 3 or 4 patches ago, and it was like the balancing on it was top tier. Like it was a really good balancing patch. I mean, they didn't fix everything, but it fixed 80% of the issues I remember, which is like really good. But the last few ones have been pretty bad. They nerf things that don't need to be nerfed, and they buff things that don't need to be buffed. And then they've been doing random quality of life changes that no one's asked for, and it's caused more issues than good. So I'm just hoping the next season's balancing will go in a better direction. And yeah, I don't have too much to add other than that. If it, let me know what you think about this patch, and I guess you can let me know what you think about season 5 in general, and what you hope for season 6. But again, that might be another video. If you watched the whole thing, it looks like it's gonna be a little bit under an hour on my end. Like, thank you, it means a lot, because I mean, it's just me really talking about the game for an hour and just the balancing of it. I don't know, I just hope that it's more of like a chill experience for you guys than just relax, and hopefully I'll have this up for you guys to watch over the maintenance. And yeah, I hope to see you at the next video. Bye bye.